Welcome back all. Now that Biden has occupied the White House for over 2 weeks, what is going on? By now that buyer's remorse started to set in among those that supported the Biden regime during the 2020 election cycle, many start to speak out against the way that the Biden regime is flaunting their power. But if the voters think that what happened over the last 2 weeks is bad, worse is to come and the Democrats are going to destroy the union. As have already been seen during the first 2 weeks, Biden and Harris will want their own way, no matter the cost to the country and all its citizens. So far as we know, only 43 executive orders were signed during this period. And as far as we can see, every one of these executive orders negatively affect the legitimate citizens of the country. But now some of the blue states are following the federal government's example by putting forward new legislation that would hurt the people. One example is that in one of the states the proposed legislation is that no more connections to the natural gas supply would be approved and even banned. This is in support of the new green policy that the new regime in the White House is promoting. But one of the first things this Biden regime did was to put a stop to the Keystone Pipeline construction. This immediately made thousands redundant and in effect broke an international treaty between the USA and Canada. Now I would like to ask, how is the USA going to power the power stations and fuel the existing vehicles? Even the electric vehicles of the future will need about 4 times the power supply that is currently produced in the USA. Is the new regime going to ship the oil and coal that will be needed to produce all this power from other countries and ship it with dirty fuel tankers from other places around the world? It would seem that this is the idea. Not only will power prices go up, fuel prices already reacted to this executive order. Another ridiculous executive orders by this Biden regime is that boys that identify as girls can from now on participate in girls' sport. So will this also give the boys that identify as girls give them access to the girls' locker rooms and other facilities like the girls' showers? It would seem that in the same executive order the children's rights overshadow any rights that the parents have. Children can now decide for themselves from an age stipulated in the executive order to get state-sponsored gender-altering surgery, and basically the parents can do absolutely nothing about it. But worse is still to come for the citizens of the USA. The way that some politicians on the Biden regime side, I can only deduce some of the things to come. With so many Democrats talking about purging the Republicans and those that voted for Republicans and Donald J. Trump, it would seem they want to change the state to one where only one-party rule is put in place, like they helped to institute in the former Rhodesia, now known as Zimbabwe. But it would seem they might just wanted to see the reactions of the citizens of Zimbabwe to the drastic change in regime. But one thing that they do not give a damn about is the consequences of the regime change. The suffering of the people in Zimbabwe that follow out the regime change. Another country that the USA government forced into regime change is South Africa. It would seem that the government wanted to confirm their result that they achieved in Zimbabwe. So the USA government with other governments forced a conservative country almost directly into a communist state. But if you look at the leftist media these days about South Africa, the South African government is just praised and pampered the same as they did on and after inauguration of the Biden regime. But what is coming to the citizens if the USA? It would seem that in the first experiment took 30 years to happen and 30 years in the second experiment, the Biden regime are going to try and fit into 4 years and try and establish a one-party state and so deep in debt with the rest of the world, especially China, that China would start to claim some of the USA as their own territory. At the rate that Biden is doing things by executive order, he basically want to eliminate the Senate and the House of Representatives. And as soon as all this have happened, Kamala Harris will take over as supreme leader. Was this their plan all along? I cannot say at all at this time, and time will tell if these actions will happen. But the big difference between the Republicans and the Democrats are that the Republicans do what they say and lead by example, while the Democrats tell the citizens what they must do, even if they do not follow their own rules and regulations. Do what we tell you to do and be happy. We will steal what we can and destroy the country and you can do absolutely nothing. But you be the judge. Thank you for watching.